and welcome to another Parts Factory installation tutorial video. Today we're going to be working on this 2001 to about 2007 Ford Falcon sedan. Basically the window regulator within these doors, extremely unreliable. I think it's the electronic motor that gives out, and sometimes even the cabling, the metal cabling, snaps completely. So yeah. Now I think that this specific video is also relevant to AU Falcons as well, and even BF Falcons. I think this is a BA, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter, they're all the same. Super duper easy job. The whole door card just comes off. We'll pull the door glass up, we'll leave it inside the door, hopefully it just sticks at the top. Pull the reg out, put the new one in, and hopefully good to go at that point. Guys, if you are in need of this part, we do have this available on our website. I think the price is about $88.30 with free express postage Australia-wide, so you're getting your parts within 2 days after placing your order. They come with a 3-year warranty as well, and of course, yours truly, this installation tutorial comes free with the product as well. Guys, if this type of content is something that you might be interested in the future, before we get started, make sure you give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. That way, if you work on any of your own cars, like your own Falcon, or maybe you buy and sell cars on the side, you can find us again and perhaps watch one of our other installation tutorials. Alrighty guys, let's get straight into this job. Right, first things first guys, we're going to pop off this interior door handle. There's a little plastic cap that just pops off and you can stick that to the side there. Then there's a little Phillips head screw. Undo that, grab it with your finger, bring it out here. At this point, this handle just pops out. Just rotate it this direction here and then pop it out just like that. You can stick that on the ground. Second step is this little chrome trim. You can probably grab from the top and just pop it out, being pretty gentle. Don't want to break anything. Pop that trim off and put it to the side. I think there's 2 Phillips head screws inside this little door handle here. You can unscrew them, and if they don't come out, just leave them in. There's one here as well. Again, if you can't get them out of the door card, you can just leave them in. We'll come back to them in a second. Now you've got 2 little plastic trims here and here. You can see that one's missing, so we're going to pop this one out. Just pop it out, place it to the side. It's 2 additional Phillips heads. These ones will most likely pop out into your hand. That one's not there. You can pull yours out. Now there's a little Phillips head just here. Sometimes you might need to use a short Phillips head screwdriver to get it in there. Right, it's now time to get this last Phillips head just here. And we're, again, putting it on the floor. It's time to pull this master switch out. Yours might be harder than mine, but they just lever up and pop out of the door. Probably be pretty tough to get it to let go, but you can use a little flathead screwdriver and get a bit of lever action happening. At this time, we'll start in the corner. We're just going to let go some of the clips, running your finger along, and you'll feel them all let go. You lift it up into the air, and you'll find the everything will, the lock barrel will pop off here, and you don't want to lose any of this part. So you can just put that on the floor, and then those little screws will fall out of the door. But the most important thing is to get this mirror switch, which is in here. Otherwise it'll just break and you'll lose your mirror switch. The best way to do it is to actually pop it up in the door card. So pop it up and out. There's a little pressure. You can grab them and pop it up and through the door card, like so. Otherwise, if you try and do it any other way, you'll struggle to get this clip here and you just simply won't be able to get it to release, and you'll end up destroying your mirror switch. And I believe these are about $60 to $80. See how I've pulled it up and out, and then I can use a screwdriver in there to get it to release. Right, from this point on, you literally have 3 10 mils here and 4 here. And you might find that your bottom 10 mils nut, it might be a little rusted, so make sure you're using a coarse spline socket. Don't use one of those multi-fit fine spline sockets, because you will most likely round that bolt And if you round that, you're going to be angle grinding it off. Okay, now it's time to release our door glass from the window regulator itself. To do that, you've got these little yellow clips. Re-plug your master switch back in. Turn your key on. Now at this point, this is only relevant for people that have lazy motors. If your regulator is in pieces, you just need to get the window reg, the leftover of the window reg, disconnected from the glass. Have the glass on itself in the up position, just as long as, and check that these little yellow clips are still attached to the door glass. If they're not attached to the door glass anymore, I'd recommend going and getting another door glass before you continue this job. If, however, you're in the same position that I am with a lazy motor, we're going to have to disconnect this window regulator from the door glass by doing this. You just put your flathead screwdriver in and you twist the plastic like that. Do the same on this side. Twist the plastic a bit. Same here. Twist that out a little bit. We're now going to bring the window regulator up so we can access this section of the door glass, if I can. Okay, there it is there. I can now access this side of the little yellow piece. So we've done this section of the door card, the little clip. It's now time to do this side of the door glass. We're just going to put our screwdriver in and twist those yellow tabs. It's basically just taking the tension off the window reg, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side of the little yellow tab. You just put it in and you just twist it so it takes a bit of the tension off, twisting it a little bit. And at this point, hopefully, we can put our hand up in there and bring it back down. And now we're going to undo our 10 mils. One, and watch this one, it's a bit rusted. Getting it right on, all the way. There we go, we got that one, thank God. We got these ones at the top. 1, 2. But for now, I'm going to leave the motor attached to the door. So we've done a lot of the manpower here, but we just got to continue doing just a little bit more, just little twists. I'm going to pop them off one at a time. See how they got to be twisted quite a lot in order to make it past the little black grommets. Right, so I've got the right side of the window regulator to release off the door glass. It's got to get the left side now. So again, we're just continuing on. We're going to twist those little yellow parts of the door card. Hopefully, we can then just finish off by levering up. You can hear it release. Lever up on one side. I'll bring it over to show you. So the right side here is just the final section. Again, twist on this side, and see how it dropped down at that point. Now the door glass can just come up into the air, running it straight up and down in the door. Now remember, there's rails on each side and the door glass has to be inside of the rails. It really doesn't matter at this point because right now we just want to get the old window regulator out and replace it with the new one. Now we can continue to undo the remaining 10 mil bolts. 1, 2, 3. Putting them just here. And now that motor will pop out of the door. And at this point, you can just lay the window regulator down, like so. Horizontal with the door. My door glass is popped down. We're just going to pop it back up out of the way. You can see the window reg's about to come out right, but the last thing is, of course, the window regulator plug. So I think it's this one just here. You could just use a flathead. You can poke it through that hole and now you've got access to it. You can now undo the plug just by pressing down on this little pressure clip, and it undoes like that. Pop it out. You can drag your window regulator out of the door. It's actually a genuine one. How old is this car?
18 years old.
It's 18 years and it lasted all that time.
Well done,
Actually
Ford.
Pretty impressive. Right, before we put the window regulator back in, we need to make sure that the door glass is in both of the rails, up and down. So to do that, you just bring the door glass completely down, because at this point it's essentially out of the rails, and then you can bring it over using your hand, holding it from the bottom. How did it even come out? It's like it was Oh, it was never in the rails. So now that we've made sure the door glass is in the rails on each side, you can now just put your door glass in the closed upright position. Right, so now that we've got the door glass in right in the fully upright position, it's now time to put our new window regulator in. Basically fold it up like this and insert it into the door like this. Bring it around into the straight up and down position. And first things first, you want to put the top mounts. So you want to line up these two mounting holes here. Then you want to put a little one of the bolts back in, just nice and loose. 1 and 2. At this point you can remove your arm out of the door and line up this front motor. Of course it's the 3 bolts that come through the door. You can chuck the nuts on 1, 2 and 3 and just leave them loose. Now don't forget the ones down the bottom. Line them up. Stick them in, 1, 2. Now that they're all in, you can bring them up to tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at this point, because the glass is in position and the reg's in and nice and firm. Right, so at this point, now that the glass is in its upright position and it's tightened in all 7 spots, you can just take your window regulator up and it will hit the top and it should lock itself into place, and then the window will be able to move up and down as intended. Bring it all the way down into position and just visually inspect the little clips. Make sure both sides are in securely. If they're not, you can just use a little lever and just push up on them to get them locked into place properly. But okay, so all of the clips have successfully locked into place. It's now time to re-disconnect our master switch, because we're going to put our door card back on. There's a little procedure to do that. You first want to put this little snipper button on. Right, so once you're at this point, you need to make sure this little knob here faces this direction so that it can successfully go into that hole and slide all the way up into place. See, that's gone through. It's now time to feed our wiring back through into our door card. So it's all going to happen at once, and this is why it can be a little bit of a pain. I'm just going to lock the turn the car back off. We've got our mirror switch, has to be fed through as well. And the last thing is the wire for the interior door handle. It has to be up here like that. And at this point, we can bring our door card into the appropriate position. And hopefully we can just rest it in place and start clicking the tabs around the edges. And hopefully you didn't lose any of your plugs. They're all sitting there waiting to go. At this point, I want to put the mirror switch in first, because if that one's lost, you won't be getting it back without taking it all off again. You can put it in and then, of course, just wiggle that mirror switch back into place. There you go there. We'll do our master switch. We can plug that in and put it back in its position. We can now grab our little locking rod. Don't worry if that drops in. Usually you can just put your hand there and grab it. You can just put that straight in there like that, and of course lock it into place. Door handle goes back into the door like intended. You grab the screw, mount it up with your finger, lock it into place. Don't forget your little cap. Now at this point, these 2 screws inside the door card are the most important for strength. Feed it in, tightening it up like so, and you've got one down this end, feeding it in, tightening it up. Don't forget your 2 on the bottom, they're also quite important for strength. 1, and of course 2. And then the little chrome trim, the aesthetic trim, just clips into place. Now you can go ahead and make sure everything works. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. All right guys, all done. The whole job took about 10 to 15 minutes. Pretty straightforward really. One little piece of advice, when you have got the regulator back inside of the door, make sure that the little wire that connects the window regulator to the car doesn't get caught as the window regulator goes up, because of course you'll run into a few issues doing that. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward job. Just a reminder, we do have this product available. I'm going to stick the link in the top right corner and in the bio of the video. But other than that guys, that's all done here today. Thanks for watching guys. I'm Lucas Strabs and I'll see you next time.